Hey guys, welcome back to Just Winging It Homestead.
Hi.
All right, so this week we ordered our baby chicks from Meyer Hatchery. How exciting was that?
And it's scary.
Yeah, it is scary. So it's going to be our first time that we've ever raised baby chicks ourselves. We did quite a bit of research through different YouTubers, online forums, Facebook communities.
Yep.
And we think we're ready.
TBD.
Yeah, a little TBD. So we ordered 25 baby chicks. Of those 25, 18 are going to be meat birds and the others are going to be hens.
Yes, egg layers.
Yeah, so what kind of egg layers did we get? We got a couple of
Easter eggers.
Easter eggers. We got a couple Austrias
Yep.
and a couple of Rhode Island Reds.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So nice variety of different kind of eggs. Really excited to get them and start our whole process. So in preparation for the chicks, we want to make sure we have the brooder set up. We want to get the temperature right. We want to be anywhere between 85 to 90 degrees for the
Yes.
first several days as the new baby chicks arrive.
Yes, and then as they start to get older, then we'll gradually decrease the temperature of the brooder
Yeah, about 5 degrees every week or so.
as they start to feather out.
Yep, absolutely. And our birds are going to stay in the brooder for anywhere between 3 to 5 weeks. All depends on, if they're ready. We'll start introducing them out to the yard and pasture. So we're only on half an acre here on the homestead, but we are going to free range the meat birds and chicken tractor, so quote unquote pastured meat birds. And the egg layers are going to have a 24 by 8 run.
Chicken, right?
Yep, so they'll be free range as well.
Well, let's get started. We'll show you what we've got for our brooder and the setup that we're going to use for it.
All right, perfect.
So this is a 55-gallon tote, and we've already got it kind of set up in there. We've got quite a, maybe an inch or so pine shaving layers. And then as the chicks, start to get poop everywhere, we'll add a couple layers here and there as needed. We've got our heat lamps, which, wow, these get really hot. We've got our feeder here. We've also got our waterer, our poultry waterer, our thermometer, and let's see what else. We've got another light, but I don't think we're going to end up needing both. It gets pretty hot in there. We had them on for maybe 30 minutes. We went back upstairs and we came back down to check on them, and it was already up to almost 90 degrees. So if it's on all day, I think we're really only going to need one heat lamp, and maybe we need a lower watt bulb.
All right, so we went with Kent's medicated chick starter feed. And the reason we chose Kent's is two reasons. One, they are highly reputable. Two, they've been around for decades. And as a added bonus, they do not use any animal byproducts for their protein source, which is huge. You do need to be careful. Some feed will use animal byproducts, which is many times like ground up baby chicks that have passed or something along those lines. So we absolutely wanted to stay away from that. For your protein, for the amount of protein that you want for your baby chicks are anywhere between 18 and 24%. This batch in particular has 20%. Which we feel was a good amount. And then as the meat birds grow, we may bump it up to 22%. We'll just have to see how they fill out. So the medicated feed actually helps prevent coccidiosis. And coccidiosis is a very nasty parasite that will infect your entire flock in a heartbeat if you are not keeping up on it. And can cause paralysis, lethargy, sickness, and bloody stool, and even diarrhea, and ultimately death if not treated. So if you start your baby chicks off with a preventative for that, it's just going to have a better chance of not contracting the parasite, and you'll have a healthier flock.
If one gets sick, potentially your whole flock could get sick. So we really don't want that.
Yeah, so absolutely. We want to try and have a healthy flock and try our best. It's going to be our first round of doing it, so we're excited, anxious, a little nervous,
Very nervous, but excited to take you guys along for the ride. I mean, so you can see how we're doing this. I mean, pretty much learn from our mistakes. Guess what? The post office just called like 30 minutes ago and the chicks are here. How exciting, but also really scary. I'm pretty sure Josh is feeling a little salty that I'm picking them up and not him, but it'll be okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go get them and show you guys once I have them in my possession. All right, we just got to the post office. Let's go inside and pick up our chicks. Oh my gosh, you can hear them already. All right, so I got the chicks. As you can tell, they are already chirping away and moving around. They sound good so far. I'm not gonna open them up yet. The box is pretty secured right now, so I'm gonna wait till I get home and get them put into the brooder before I open them up, so I'll show you shortly. These little girls are pretty noisy, but I guess that's a good sign. I mean, at least, you know, they're up moving around and making noise. Got the box open. Let's see what we have. Oh my gosh, look at them. Hi. Hi, babies. Hello. All right, let's get them put under the heat lamp so they stay warm. All right, let's get them put into the brooder. Here we go, little guys. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on. There we go. Look, some of them already know how to drink. All right, so we've got them all in the brooder now. Some of them are like already pecking at the food, which is crazy, and drinking. So we need to get the heat lamp on them now. There we go. This one here for them. And put another board there just in case, you never know.
Hey, so we wanted to give you guys a little update on some things that we experienced with the chickens. You know, it's our first run with them, and so we started them out in the basement, and we had heat lamps on them, and we had thermometers down there, and we were monitoring their temperature, and everything was looking fine, but
Until it wasn't.
until it wasn't. So we don't know 100% if it was actually due to them being in the basement, but it is a little damper in the basement. So Anyway, we ended up losing like 6 chicks over the first week. So we have a suspicion that it's to do with it being a little damper in the basement and
Causing respiratory issues with
yeah,
them. And
yeah. So that's our suspicion anyway. There weren't any other, obvious signs of disease or issues. So anyway,
or like they weren't under like any stress or anything either. Like we didn't like Gunner down there with them or anything like that.
right, right. And it was kind of weird because, there were a couple that were pretty obvious that they were kind of lethargic, and we'd end up finding one the next morning that had died. And
Hold on, can you see Gunner?
yes,
in
I
the
can
background?
I can see him back there. Yeah, a little crazy dog.
Oh, there he goes.
Anyway,
Let's see.
so yeah, it was, they were lethargic, and then we'd go down to tend to them in the morning, and we'd end up finding one dead, or so.
Also, what I think too, I mean, there was one where she didn't look sick, but when I went down there to like feed and water them, I didn't realize like she was in there dead or anything. And when I got to their brooder and like moved their food out and everything, the other chicks moved and they were standing on top of her. So I think
Yeah.
they like trampled her.
Yeah. So we have a couple theories, right? One is maybe one or two got trampled on, which they're not overcrowded. They definitely have room, so that was interesting.
I've learned since we've had these chickens, like they're jerks. Like they are mean, they're dirty. They're just
Well, yeah. So anyway, we ended up losing like 6 chicks, like I said. So the theories of maybe one or two got trampled on, or they're having respiratory issues, stuff like that. So we moved them from the basement and into the garage. And
they've been in there for 2 days.
they've been
now.
there for a couple of days, and they seem to be doing really well. I know it's not terribly uncommon to lose a couple birds from when they're little baby chicks. So hopefully we don't lose any more. We still got plenty of meat birds. In fact, that's the only ones that we've lost.
Yeah, none of the egg layers
No,
died.
no, none of the egg layers. So anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update on our experiences so far. So.
Okay, so Josh just went into the garage to bring out a chicken to introduce Gunner to a chicken. So let's see how this goes. He's gonna go crazy. Hold on. Daddy's gonna bring it out to you. Here he comes. Maybe over here. Sit.
Good. Sweet little baby kid. Huh? There's one of our little meat birds, about 2 weeks old.
Okay. So that went really bad. I don't know if you caught that or not, but Gunner just tried to bite its head off. So yeah, I don't think we'll be letting him near them until they're a lot bigger. That almost ended very badly. Granted, that was a meat bird. Maybe Gunner knew. He does love chickens, so.
All right, guys. So it's about 2 weeks in with the baby chicks, and actually it's 17 days exactly. And we're just going to show you what one of the daily chores are. We do it twice a day, and just come out and water them, feed them, make sure everything's looking all right, and lay down some new pine shavings to cover up the poop. And yeah, that's about it. You'll see that they are significantly larger in just a short period of time. So they're at a point to where their brooders are almost a little too small. So what I'm going to do tomorrow morning, I'm going to go ahead and build the chicken tractor and use that as a brooder for the next 2 weeks because it's much larger than what they're in now. And then when they're about 4 weeks old and they're fully feathered, and then we'll go ahead and put the meat birds in the chicken tractor and put them out on the pasture. All right. So look at these fat suckers. This is a meat bird at 17 weeks old. 17 days old. Look at this guy. Big old bird compared to one of our little egg layers here. Yeah, it's good. Hey. Come here, little guy. They're fast little suckers. Anyway, you can see the size comparison. They're easily 2 to 2.5.
The 3 white ones back there, and then the 3 red ones.
Yep. And then we have one more egg layer here, little baby Hope, who got the name of little baby Hope because we were hoping she'd survive with her little gimp leg, and she seems to be doing all right. And we had one meat bird that was looking a little lethargic, so we wanted to try and make sure it didn't get trampled on and suffocate or die in the brooder, so we separated her as well. So anyway, just water them here. This is just basic water with about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, which is really good for the birds. It's good for their
Immune system,
digestive tract, respiratory. So it's kind of good all around. There for about the first week, we were including some just baby chick starter vitamins, but I went ahead and weaned them off that, and now we're just doing the apple cider vinegar with just standard water. Get some fresh pine shavings in here to cover up some of their poop. So basically we just layer this once or twice a day. And what we'll end up doing is putting this into a compost pile. And come fall, when we have some new leaves falling, we'll add that to the compost pile. And probably next year, there'll be we got one loose.
Get her. No. She's on that chicken wire.
Come here. You're gonna be all right. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so look inside of their food.
Oh yeah, those little things, they end up kind of roosting on them a little bit and getting a little poo in there. So basically I just dump it out. It's kind of a waste, but
It's already contaminated.
yeah, I figure better safe than sorry. We thought about elevating them a little bit, but honestly, they'd find a way to hop up there. It's gonna happen. Add some more pine shavings to the other side. Got little babies. Watch out.
Oh.
Yes, I know. It's so exciting.
Oh. We've got 2 out.
Oh, hey now. Oh, hey now. Come back here.
Come here, little baby bird. That's a good one.
Excuse you. Oh.
Got an escapee. Oh, Lord. Oh, yeah.
I gotta be smarter than the chicken.
Oh. Yeah, you want to go back home with your little friends. You're going the wrong way.
She's coming up this way.
Can you grab her?
She's in the middle of the two brooders.
Here, little baby bird. She coming?
Yeah, keep going.
Come on.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
You're gonna have to get her. Y'all stay in there. No more get out now.
Where'd she go?
She's over here. She's right there.
Hello, baby bird. Gonna get hurt over there in this mess of a garage.
She's right here.
I see her. She's trying to jump back up there. Ridiculous.
Where did she go?
She's back here. Come here, little baby bird. So it wasn't such a dang mess in here. Be able to get her easily.
Yeah, clean your garage.
Been a little busy. Come on. Think you can help me out here?
Yeah.
Yes, I know. It's a whole new world out here, huh? Let's get her.
Oh gosh. I don't even see her. Oh, there she is. She just went that way. More. Stay. Like I'm talking to Gunner.
Yeah. She's telling all her little friends how she busted out of the joint.
She busted out of the clink.
Yeah. Ass bird.
I think these things are too fat to fly.
No, they're not.
Oh. Look at how big these are. So these are all meat birds in here.
This one is the Mamma Jamma.
Yeah.
That thing's massive.
She's the boss. Oh, geez. Just trying to make her escape.
Oh, don't play.
Stay. No. It.
I think they know they're being filmed because they're much more lively than they usually are. This is only about a 10-minute process.
That's true. And her Gunner, he's upset he's not out here. He's inside
Very
barking.
upset, but he also almost ate him. I almost ate a daggone chicken.
It's not funny, but it is funny.
Yeah, he dang snapped at it. Moved it out just in
You didn't
time.
put shavings down.
Yeah, I'll grab some shavings real quick.
There's poop in that food. You didn't change that food out yet, did you?
Yeah, that was the other one.
Oh, okay.
Starting to get their tail feathers.
Yeah. That one right there has tail feathers coming through.
Yeah, watch out, little birdies. Yeah, I know. I'm just disrupting your whole little evening here.
Get the shavings off of her.
Should be fine.
The other one.
As long as it.
These things eat like crazy too.
Yes, they do. So tomorrow when I put the chicken tractor together, we're also going to go ahead and separate the meat birds from the egg layers. So they'll be quarantined, and I want to make sure the meat birds don't take all the food.
Because they are bullies.
They are little bullies compared to those egg layers.
Because even in this one, in this brooder, so that one right there is the smallest meat bird in here, and they still bully her, even though she's their own kind.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough in the Snyder coop.
Got a chick fight going on.
Y'all didn't even have to pay for that. Usually charge $5 a fight. Just kidding. I do not condone that kind of activity. These chickens are not used for fighting. They're used for filling up my belly.
Yeah, so we put the boards on top just to make sure that they're not, trying to make the great escape.
Yeah, or a little raccoon or possum or
Right.
something.
Some kind of animal gets in the garage somehow. So this
Little baby Hope.
is Baby Hope.
I think that meat bird can probably go back too.
Not yet.
Need some shavings.
Yeah. So we had this little monkey in with Hope's little brooder because she was by herself. And we've heard like other people through Facebook communities,
Oh yeah, temperature's nice.
other groups that said, so she doesn't get
89.
lonely, you can put a stuffed animal in there with her to help her feel like she's not alone.
Yeah, but look how good she's doing now. She's dropped her leg. She's walking
She's
around
walking
on it.
on both feet, which is amazing because before her right leg here was like completely tucked under her. She couldn't put it down, no pressure on it, and then her feet were like, it was like caved in like that. I forget what it's called though. Not spraddle leg. It's I can't remember
the actual term for it. It's definitely not spraddle leg, but yeah. But yeah, we're happy that she looks to be making a nice recovery. We're concerned we might have to put her down, but we wanted to give her 3 weeks and see how she did, and she's on week 2 and she's looking pretty good. So that makes us happy. All right, little baby birds. Y'all are all set for the evening.
Oh, it looks like she's protecting her.
Protecting the monkey.
No, the meat bird went to Hope and like spread her wing out over her. Or she's just being a little heifer.
Heifer bird. All right, guys. So it was a little more exciting than a typical feeding, doing the chores here, but I think the birds had some kind of idea that they were going to be on camera. We had one with the great escape, and then the other ones were just being bullies. Gunner almost ate one of their heads off. Yeah, kind of never know what's going to happen. Anyway, so I'm going to wash my hands like 3 times because those little suckers are dirty. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.